We'll find a way to find them.
Hit it up.
And it'll be reborn in my image.
Hello, and welcome to Top Select 10. Welcome, sci-fi fans, to the ultimate galaxy. If you're ready to explore the best of science fiction on Netflix, you're in for a treat. From mind-bending adventures to futuristic battles, these are the top 12 must-watch sci-fi movies on Netflix that will blow your mind. Whether you're into epic space odysseys, gripping dystopian tales, or thought-provoking AI dramas, this list has it all. Stick around because one movie on this list is a hidden gem that will leave you speechless. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for more out-of-this-world recommendations every week. Alright, let's kick things off with number 12. Prepare for liftoff. Let's dive in. Number 12. Oblivion. In 2077, the human Jack Harper works with his companion Victoria Vika on the surveillance station Tech 49. Jack repairs drones, and his memory was erased as part of the security process to stay on Earth. And he knows that Earth is completely depleted after 60 years of war against the alien invaders scavengers, scavs. The aliens have destroyed the moon and were defeated by nuclear weapons, and the Earthlings have moved to Saturn's moon Titan since the planet was completely destroyed. Now Jack has to protect the power stations that use the ocean to supply energy to Titan, fixing the drones. He also has recollections of a mysterious woman at the Empire State Building when Earth was habitable. Jack and Vic receive instructions from Sally, who is located on the space station Ted. And Vic is anxious to leave Earth in 2 weeks to join the survivors on Titan. Number 11. Snowpiercer. The nations released the substance CW7 with the intention of controlling global warming, but accidentally it results in another ice age destroying Earth. The only survivors live in the train Snowpiercer, which is driven by a perpetual motion engine created by the millionaire Wilford that lives in the engine part. In 2031, after 17 years, there is a fight of classes inside the train since the oppressed lower class lives in dreadful conditions in the last wagons of the train while the elite lives in the front wagons. The lower class is fed with protein bars only. They are oppressed and punished by Minister Mason and her brutal guards, and their children are taken every now and then when they reach a certain height. The leaders Gilliam, Curtis Everett, and Edgar are plotting a scheme to reach the engine and talk to Wilford about their conditions using the addicted security engineer Namgung Minsu and his clairvoyant daughter Yona that are imprisoned to open the locked doors. When the son of Tanya, Tim, is captured by Mason, they decide to execute their plan. There are many casualties, and soon Curtis discovers that they have been manipulated by Wilford to balance the resources in the train, and why the magnate keeps the lower class alive. Number 10. Tenet. An unnamed CIA operative codenamed the Protagonist is selected to join the ranks of the shadowy government organization called the Tenet, a group tasked with ensuring the survival of humankind. Charged with mastering a mind-bending technology and thwarting an impending future attack, the Protagonist must form an uneasy alliance with Neil, his cryptic new partner. Together, they follow a treacherous trail of clues that leads to Satyr, a malevolent Russian oligarch. But time is of the essence. The invisible threat looms larger, putting our future in peril. Can these two agents defy the odds and stop the oncoming apocalypse? Number 9. Predestination. A time-traveling agent goes back in time to 1970 in order to catch an infamous terrorist known as the Fizzle Bomber. The agent stops the bomb but is severely injured. The Fizzle Bomber escapes and the agent travels into the future to 1992 using a coordinate transformer field kit, a time machine disguised as a violin case. With the help of an unknown person, the agent's face was burned and needs to be repaired using plastic surgery. It is revealed that the agent works for a mysterious organization known as the Temporal Bureau that sends the so-called temporal agents through time to prevent major crimes. The Fizzle Bomber is the only criminal to elude them thus far. In March 1975, the Fizzle Bomber kills 11,000 people in New York City. Number 8. Spider-Man: Homecoming. In the aftermath of Captain America: Civil War 2016, Peter Parker, a 15-year-old sophomore and Tony Stark's protege, finds himself back in Queens, New York, trying to juggle high school and his superhero alter ego. As Peter is on pins and needles waiting for his mentor to give him a chance to prove his mettle and become an official Avenger, Stark chooses to keep Peter on a short leash instead, fearful that the boy might bite off more than he can chew. And then, the Vulture, a winged supercriminal brandishing advanced Chitauri weaponry, emerges. Of course, Parker sees his arrival as a golden opportunity to demonstrate that he has what it takes to be part of the Earth's mightiest team of superheroes. But is Spider-Man ready to be more than the neighborhood's friendly, web-slinging defender? Number 7. Serenity. In the 26th century, humanity has left an overpopulated and decimated Earth and moved to a new star system, colonizing many planets and moons. The central planets are ruled by an alliance that has won a war against the colonies, less established planets in the new outer solar system. The colonies refuse to accept the alliance rules and are at war. A young girl named River Tam is the most promising of a number of young people being mentally and physically conditioned against their will by Alliance scientists. The Alliance wants to use these kids as weapons against the colonials. River was actually a colonial herself, being used by Alliance to fight against her own people. Number 6. Rogue One. A Star Wars story. In a time of conflict and tyranny, the Empire is on the brink of unleashing its most fearsome weapon, the Death Star. A small band of unlikely heroes comes together in a desperate attempt to steal the plans to this planet-destroying power. Jyn Erso, a young woman with a personal connection to the Death Star's creator, is reluctantly recruited by the Rebel Alliance. Joined by Cassian Andor, a committed intelligence officer, the reprogrammed Imperial droid K2SO, and a diverse group of fighters and outcasts, they embark on a perilous mission that takes them deep into enemy territory. Their journey leads them to new planets, where they encounter both allies and adversaries, each with their own agendas and secrets. The team must navigate complex moral landscapes and make difficult choices, all while racing against time. The film explores themes of sacrifice, hope, and the moral complexities of war. It's a tale of ordinary people rising to the challenge of extraordinary circumstances, united by a common goal. The film adds texture and depth to the Star Wars universe, providing a gritty and grounded perspective on events that shaped the original trilogy. Number 5. Thor: Ragnarok. 4 years after defeating the Dark Elves and 2 years after the fight in Sokovia, Thor now finds himself trapped on the other side of the universe on the wacky planet of Sakaar. Meanwhile, a new threat rises as the evil Hela, goddess of death, takes over Asgard and plans to conquer the universe. In order to get home, Thor must compete in a gladiator match against the defending champion of the Grandmaster. Little does Thor know is that the champion is his old friend and fellow Avenger, the Incredible Hulk. Teaming with the Incredible Hulk and his deceptive brother Loki, Thor must return home to Asgard in time to stop Hela and prevent the approaching Ragnarok, the apocalyptic destruction of Asgard. Number 4. Dune. Year 10,191. The Emperor summons Duke Leto of the noble house Atreides to take over the stewardship of the arid, inhospitable planet Arrakis, the only source of spice, the sacred hallucinogen. As the Duke relocates to the peril-laden exoplanet with his family, Paul Atreides, a gifted son beset by indecipherable visions, finds himself caught between two worlds. And with evil stirring in the shadows, the grotesque Baron Vladimir of the brutal house Harkonnen plots revenge against them. Now, the road to legend leads deep into the desert. Can Paul fulfill his destiny in far-off Dune, the home of the mysterious, blue-eyed Freeman? Number 3. Blade Runner 2049. 2049. It's been approximately 2 decades since the Tyrell Corporation, the creators and original manufacturers of replicants, bioengineered superhumans, went bankrupt. A new generation of replicants manufactured by industrialist Ninder Wallace, who saved the world with his replicants in establishing synthetic farming in light of collapsing natural ecosystems. While the replicants of the Tyrell era are now outlawed and they having violently rebelled, they retired, aka destroyed, by Blade Runners. The Wallace-era replicants, which have been programmed to obey, are seen as necessary to society. Many current-day Blade Runners are Wallace-era replicants. K, short for his serial number KD6-3.7, is one such Blade Runner working for the LAPD under Lieutenant Joshi. On one of his assignments, K discovers what he believes are human remains, but on forensic examination are actually the remains of a female replicant who has signs of having given birth during her life, presumably to a human baby. Joshi, fearing the worst of what this finding actually means and it getting into the wrong hands, orders K to discover and destroy any evidence of this finding, which includes locating the baby, probably now grown, and destroying him, her. As K discovers some further evidence to this story concerning his own history, each replicant which is implanted with a manufactured and thus not real history, K begins to suspect that this story may be a little more than just a professional assignment to him, and which may jeopardize his future beyond that information getting into the wrong hands with which he will also have to deal. Number 2. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Spider-Man's identity has been outed by Mysterio in Far From Home. Peter, his aunt, and his 2 friends are treated like pariahs by half of the population. With the stakes held high for Peter, he goes to Doctor Strange to make everyone forget his identity with a mind-wiping spell, but it goes horribly wrong due to Peter tampering with the spell, and 5 villains from different universes accidentally end up in the main universe, including 2 Spider-Men who have fought their adversaries in the past. When Spider-Man's attempt to cure the villains fail, he decides to enlist help from his 2 counterparts to help him cure the villains so they can have a better fate. Peter will soon learn what it truly means to be Spider-Man, and he will ultimately make a life-altering decision that will change his life forever. Number 1. Inception. Dom Cobb is a skilled thief. The